Hi guys, hi YouTube, Facebook, Aurora Elliptica here, also known as Brooke Thorne. And today I want to talk about a few things that have been on my mind. I want to talk about beauty and how the beauty standards are distorted and illusory. And I want to talk about something I've noticed from just living and traveling a lot, going back and forth to work and looking at my surroundings and the way people are and their behaviors. And the standard of beauty is very, very distorted. And it bothers me because the things that women go through to feel beautiful, to feel attractive, the extent in which women destroy themselves to fit an idealistic view of beauty that's not real, it's just an illusion, is staggering to me. I myself have been part of this, I will admit. I'm not perfect. Most of my life I've been made fun of in school, so I really did not feel beautiful. I, at a certain point in my life, I became obsessed over it. Like, I would work out, I would do whatever I could, I would learn makeup, I would do whatever I could to just not be ugly. Even after doing all of that, I realized this is not for me. If I were to exercise, if I were to do these things, it should be for the betterment of my health and my soul and my electromagnetic energy. What I mean by that is, the healthier you are, the electrical energy from my experiences comes from your heart, and the better your respiratory system is working and taking in more information and giving out more information, the more power you have, the more energy you have surrounding you. Despite the fact of me trying so hard to, I was upset because I had gone through things in my life that made me feel ugly, and at the end of all of that, I realized, what am I doing? When I was a kid, I would say that I had more intelligence. I wouldn't say intelligence, but I had more insight to the universe than I do now. I have more wisdom, but the one thing we forget as human beings is our soul growth. And we're so caught up in trying to look good to attract people that treat us like garbage or don't even like us anyway, or just want one thing from us. At the end of it, the end result is I feel nothingness. I've done everything, yet I feel nothing inside. There's nothing wrong with being healthy. There's nothing wrong with gaining more electromagnetic energy through your respiratory system. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the standards of beauty are very, very manipulated. And I'm going to talk about this in full detail right now. I shared a little personal experience because I wanted people to know that I've been there and I've went through this already. I specifically want to speak about black women because I'm a black woman. I'm going to speak from what I've seen in my own personal experiences. It's hard to say this because a lot of people might disagree with me. They just might say, oh, well, you're just mad because you're ugly, or, say something stupid and irrational. But I'm going to speak from the heart and say the truth. The truth of the matter is, black women on this planet have the worst self-esteem, and the worse your self-esteem is, the more these companies make money. And it's just a simple concept. The more you feel crappy about yourself, the more these makeup companies and the more that these doctors get money for breast implants and Botox, the more you feel like crap, the more people make money off of you. People are profiting from your lack of self-love. And with black women, I've never seen anybody else, like maybe celebrities and stuff, and I'm not saying women of any other race don't buy weave and stuff. I've never seen a race of people buy so much weave, spend so much money on fake hair and fake nails and all these things to fit an illusion of beauty. It's sad. And I almost got caught up in that too. I remember I used to get perms. I used to do all of these things until I realized like 4 or 5 years ago, I said to myself, I'm tired of straightening my hair. Like no matter what I do, my hair is going to turn into a coil. And a beautiful thing about black hair, if you look at it on a deeper level, black hair, we're electrical beings. We're made up of mostly water and electrical energy. Our hair is a coil, just like a wire, and it emits so much electrical power if you tap into that. I've noticed that when I wear my natural hair, a lot of people are attracted, like they look directly at me. It captures attention. There's a strong, powerful electrical energy in black hair. I'm not saying any other race is not like that, but the way our hair grows, it grows like a big ass antenna for electrical energy and presence. It's a beautiful thing. I understand we gotta work, we have to go to companies, we have to look a certain way. You can't just come there with your hair all wild, but I've never seen a group of people besides black women spend so much money trying to fit a fake standard of beauty. People will spend thousands of dollars on hair, and I looked at this thing on Facebook, and I looked at Chris Rock's documentary about hair, and the fact that in other countries there are girls that give up their hair thinking it's for a religious higher purpose, and it's just to be sold to the women with the lowest self-esteem, which is black women. Never seen someone so detached from who they are. It's unbelievable, and it's sad. And I'm sad to say that. People might hate on me, like, Brooke, you don't know what you're talking about. I like my hair. It doesn't matter what kind of hair you are, and blah, blah, blah. I understand that because I, too, like to wear straight hair, curly hair. I like to switch it up. But at the end of the day, there are people out there that cannot step out of the house unless they have a perm, they have straight hair, or their hair is not natural. Black women are... It's the worst I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure it's been worse than this, but it's like... It's horrible. I've never seen so many people not want to be themselves because... And guys, in the media is teaching us and teaching our kids that the more light skin you are, people are spending money on bleaching their skin, straightening their hair, getting their eyes. You know, I had green eyes and blue eyes at one time or another in some of my photo shoots because I like the color. But that's not to say that I want to be like that. I just like the look. But some people are completely detached from their genetics, wanting so badly to be white and not want to be black. The sad reality of it is the more you hate yourself, the more companies make money. And if you just say, screw this, you know what these companies start to do? They start to put out more magazines and they put out more stuff telling you how you should feel ugly about yourself. Another thing, it's not entirely women's fault. Men are to blame too. Men will sit there and say, wow, this chick is hot. I need a light-skinned chick. I need a white chick. I need a, you know, it's a sad thing. Like, no one's appreciating black women. There's a lot of people that do, but I feel and see the pain within the community, the standards of beauty. As an experienced Photoshop artist, most of these people in magazines, they're just an illusion. The titties and all this other stuff that, okay, it's good to look at, but you're making other people feel like garbage. It's one thing if someone works really hard on the way they look, I get that. But all the young girls that are sitting there not eating, throwing up, binging and purging on drugs, trying to fit this standard of beauty that is unrealistic and destroying the soul. I'm so emotional about this subject because I've been there. I've been in the mix with this whole entire thing. I'm 25 years old and it's getting worse, and I see the pain in the community when I see people try so hard. And me myself, it's like I've been with people and I still feel inadequate, not beautiful enough because I don't have big boobs and an ass. And why can't people just love what they have? Why can't people just say, okay, I don't have all of this, but I have a mind, I have a soul, you know, I work out, you know, everybody's good at something. I'm just going to say the reality of it is everybody's good at something in life. Some people are just have really good genetics. They look really good. Some people are very intelligent. Some people are very spiritual. Some people are very creative, and some people are really good at doing math. There's different types of intelligence out there. For the most part, there are good-looking people in the world, but that shouldn't define a person. A person should have more than just good looks, because that's just the surface. What about in here? What about in here? Okay? The more you obsess about your looks, the more you take away from what's in here. And I know this from experience. When I obsessed over the way I look, I totally forget about a lot of things, like who I am. And there was a point where I became so obsessed with it that it became not good. It was consuming me. So I had to bring myself back to earth. Like, this is not me. When I was younger, all I cared about was having fun, exploring life, exploring science, quantum physics, different alien races, spirituality. And now at a certain point in my life, all I was caring about was attracting attention. And I went through a phase and I realized this is not for me. This is not the type of person I am. I want to be a deep person. If legacy and soul last forever. Our bodies change over time. Your beauty and your looks don't last forever, and that's for a reason, because we are here temporarily as human beings, and our soul will transition to something else. We're not designed to get so attached. I mean, you can care about the way you look, you want to take care of yourself, that's fine. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But if that's all you're about, then that's not the way people should be living. But let me go back to the topic of black women. The way these magazines and these people make black women feel ugly, to the point where black women are bleaching their skin and getting fake hair and all these different things, and making women feel so less of a woman that they end up becoming lesbian. And let me talk about that for a second, because people might say, you're born that way. Some people are born gay genetically. I understand that. You're born, you have more estrogen, you have more testosterone. I understand that. But for me personally, I think some people, I really think some people aren't born that way, but are conditioned that way because they don't feel pretty enough to be a woman, and they don't get treated like a woman, so therefore they think that they're a man, or there's a lot of masculine energy. Like, I'm ugly, so I have to take on a masculine role, because I can't fit that feminine role. And that's what happens to a lot of people, and they become lesbian. And I have my own opinions about being gay and stuff. Like, being gay is fine, but let's just be real. The natural order of things. If you have a computer and you have a USB cable, you can't put two external USB cables together and make something happen, and you can't put two internal USB ports together and make something happen. Like, that's not, for the sake of procreation, being gay is not the way to go. But if your heart and your body is telling you this is what you want to do, then I understand that. And because I'm bisexual, and I understand that. But I look deeply into it. Like, well, how do people how do they become gay? Okay, like, some people are born that way, it just is what it is. And some people aren't always like that, but later in life, they think they're gay, because some people don't feel attractive enough to be considered a woman. And that's why people they want to survive, they want a love partner in their life, they end up trying to chase after the very thing they could not be, which is a beautiful woman. So they become a man, and they will capture that woman. It's very, very deep. A lot of people probably don't like what I'm saying, but it is what it is. It's the truth. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm not here to put a smile on anyone's face. I'm here to say the truth, because our world is never going to change unless people start saying it is what it is. Not everyone is born gay, and they're conditioned that way. The way our world is so masculine. It's like everything is, every time you play, I'm a gamer. I love fighting games. Don't get me wrong. I love it. If I didn't have it, I'd probably go crazy. But fighting games are to be sold to men. And the way the women look in those games, they're perfect shapes, boobs, ass, all that stuff. They're very beautiful. They make women feel like less of women. Like, they make women feel like, wow, because I don't have boobs, I must not be a woman. Oh, because I'm not like this woman in this anime. And a lot of people don't understand that porn and all this distorted view of women is really destroying the soul. It is destroying the soul. It really is. That's why there's so many women suffering with anxiety, depression, because not only do you have to work and support your family, but you try to fit this ideal version of beauty that you see on TV, and then you see your man wandering off to the strip club and watching porn, and then you feel less of a woman and you don't know what to do. I'm not pretty enough, and people get depressed. People don't understand the extent of the deterioration of the soul. That woman cannot be feminine because her femininity is compromised by an illusion of beauty. It's very sad. I've been there. That's why I could say this very directly. I've been there. I felt less of a woman because, well, first of all, let me give a little background again. I used to be a tomboy. I like to go outside and play and look at the stars, and I did like video games and cartoons and, you know, stuff that women weren't supposed to like, I guess, back then. Now it's cool to be a gamer chick, and half the gamer chicks out there don't even know how to game because they just like taking pictures with systems behind them and their boobs out. I started gaming when I was very, very young. When I was like, I would say early age. I picked up a controller, started with Sonic, then fighting games, and I still play fighting games. But I'm not here taking pictures with my boobs out with controllers and stuff like that. I just don't feel like it's appropriate because it's like people don't take you seriously as a gamer. But that's a whole, I'm off topic a little bit. The key thing is men don't understand the shit that women go through just to fit an ideal of beauty. That the pain inside, the heels hurt, the high heels hurt, the hair hurts, the fake eyes, the bleaching, the everything. It's like all of this to get a man to say, damn, you look good. And what's the end result, ladies? Wham, bam, okay, I think that other girl's hot now. All of that for nothing. Everything for nothing. At the end of the day, even if you have a boyfriend, you're someone's wife, and you try all these things to keep this man, and he ends up going to the strip club and cheating on you anyway. How are you going to feel after that? Can't really say anything. It's your fault. You know why? Because you have to realize that I'm not going to be busting my ass for some guy just to fit an ideal of beauty. I want to be beautiful for myself. I want to go outside and exercise because I want to increase my health. I want to look good so I can go in the mirror every night and say, man, I'm happy and I feel good about myself. That's where most women fuck up at. They will do all this boob work and do all of this stuff just to attract men, just for them to... Men, if you don't attract a man on the higher levels of the mind, and you're just going for the, okay, I'm just going to go for the sex, because it's easy. Anybody can attract someone sexually with the right amount of work. It's easy to attract someone sexually. But what's not easy is to attract someone intellectually and soulfully. And that's what the thing that women are fucking up, because you have to attract someone on an intelligent level, a spiritual level, a soulful level, and there's nothing wrong with a sexual level. But that is what everyone's focusing on, because that's the easiest one to do. And that's why people say, oh, she's just trying to sell sex, because it's the easiest fucking thing to do, is to sell yourself sexually as a woman. Because women have very, very high sexual power, which is fine. But for me personally, a man looking really good does not turn me on. What really turns me on about a man is his mind and his soul. And, you know, that's the most important thing to me, not the way they look most of the time. I mean, of course you gotta be attracted to someone, like, you know, you like the way they look, but you gotta be connected to people on all levels. It can't just be too much of one level, and you know, just a sexual level. And then, because when you notice relationships like that, when it's just based off of the sexual level, there's no substance, there's no soul, there's no anything. But anyway, sex is the easiest thing to sell, but it is one of the most, I mean, people don't understand how to connect with people. People try to get what they can out of people. What you're supposed to do when you find a mate, excuse me, what you're supposed to do when you find a mate is you're supposed to be looking for somebody that balances you out correctly. Like, for example, let's say your chakras, you're very intelligent, you're very soulful, but you lack the sexual and the you know, the parts of you that you lack. You're trying to balance it out. Not to say that all you should be looking for is sex, because sex is like, actually, a lot of people don't even know how to have sex, and they don't know how to connect with someone. People just want to do what they need to do and be on their way, which that's a topic for another time. I don't want to talk about that right now, but the main point is black women. I read this article, and the article said that they did a statistics of men, who do men find the most attractive, and black women were the last of the list. And that makes me feel like, so what is it about black women that's not attractive? Like, is it the fact that, well, from what I've heard, it's because we have more masculine features. Like, they consider very light, like straight hair and light skin equals more femininity. And if you're darker and have stronger features like big lips and a big nose, and you know, like, black women have more masculine features. And first of all, the fact that femininity is considered, you have to have light skin and small nose and straight hair, is ridiculous. It really is. Like, you're gonna call someone masculine because they have a wider nose and bigger lips and, you know, a more stronger look to them. I think that's just absurd. Being black anywhere is a challenge. And I'm not playing a race card like, oh, not these days. These days it's more, you know, you can't use that as an excuse. You can still go out and do what you need to do, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, people will resort to their instincts. Like, for example, if there was a fire and you're black and you're working in equal rights and stuff, and there was a fire and there was you and there was a bunch of other races, do you think those races are going to come help you first or help their own people? That's a good question to think about. It depends on the people you're with. Those people might help you, but you never know. And I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but at the end of the day, when a situation presents itself, you see people's true colors. People may say, oh, I'm cool with these types of people, but at the end of the day, when your boss has to choose between you and someone that looks like them to get fired, think again, because you never know. It doesn't matter how qualified you are. But at the same time, let me just get back to the topic of black women. Being black should be a beautiful thing. Like, you shouldn't have to try so hard to be beautiful. You shouldn't have to try so hard. It should just come naturally. You should just naturally work out, take care of yourself, not in the pursuit of controlling. And that's another thing women like to do. Women like to control space. They would say, well, I'm so hot, I control this amount of guys. Like, they all like me. Honey, they don't like you. They just want to bang you. Like, that's the thing, that if you're trying to attract people to send a positive message, that's one thing. But if you're like, I'm on Facebook, I look hot, you know, I'm getting thousands of likes, but most of those people just want you sexually. They don't care about your intellect, and they don't care about your message. So there's there's a fine line between art and message and selling sex. And I think I'm a little bit off topic at this point, but you know, I have a lot to say about this thing, but I think I'm going to wrap it up. As for black men out there and other men of other races, can you guys please start appreciating a woman for who she is instead of who has bigger tits and stuff, because it's like you're destroying your women. The women of this planet are being destroyed, and it's not even just black women. All women are going through it. Black women more than others, because most people consider black women the ugliest race of women. I'm being real. I'm not trying to be funny or anything. This is what it is, guys. Let's just say the truth for what it is. Black women are considered the ugliest race of women in the world. It's the truth. It's the truth. I'm sorry. Once you guys understand that, you'll realize, okay, so why? Why is that so? There is really no explanation as to why. It's just programming. We are programmed to think that way. And more people need to stand up and say, I'm sick of weave, I'm sick of makeup, I'm not buying this crap anymore. Let's get it together. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's just a good, that it would be cool if that happened. It would be pretty cool if that happened. But it might not. But at the same time, women need to stand up for themselves anyway and say, I don't need weave to look good. I don't need all of this stuff. I don't need it. And if men say, well, I will go out with this chick as opposed to you and you're going to be alone, then be alone and be proud and wait until you find someone that will appreciate you, not somebody who does not care for you at the end of the day. Thank you guys for listening to my talk. Please check out more of my artwork and my stuff on my website, brookthorn.com facebook.com/brookthorn1 is my artwork, and my Facebook page is Aurora Elliptica or Aurora Lorelei Elliptica. I'll be coming out with more videos talking about how I feel about certain